In this video, we will be looking at some more graphing techniques, but we are now to the point where we're summarizing all of the techniques that we've learned so far. We've seen that when we have a number added to f of x, that this is the same as adding that number to y. Or move up k units. When we have f of x minus k, we're subtracting k from y, or move down k units. Now remember, these two right here where we're doing something inside the function, those are the ones we have to be cautious about. And we have to ask ourselves, what will cause this to be a 0? So we can see that x equal negative h would cause this to be a 0. So we need to move left or subtract h from x, or move left h units. So this movement of left is just opposite of what we normally think of when we see a plus sign. So be very careful whenever you're adding or subtracting numbers inside the function. It's going to behave just opposite the way that you normally would expect it to. On this one, in order to make this a 0, we would have to have a positive h here. So we would add h to x, or move right h units. On this one, we can see that we're multiplying our y value by a. And we did an example where if a is a fraction that's less than 1, it's a shrinking process. And then if a is greater than 1, it is a stretching process. Now in this one, we're going to negate the y value, which would reflect across the x-axis. On this last one, we're negating the x value, which reflects across the y-axis. Now let's use some of those graphing techniques on a specific point. Our example is, suppose the point 8, 12 is on the graph of y equal f of x. Find a point on the graph of y equal f of x plus 2. Now we don't know what our function is, so this is a little bit different from what we've been doing. But what we're going to do is just apply the transformation. Remember that when we're adding a number to f of x, that means that we add that number to our y value, or we move up that number of units. So whatever you prefer to do, just remember that we're sitting at the point 8, 12, and we want to apply this transformation to that point. So I'm going to just add 2 to my y value. So 8, 12, if I add 2 to the y value, becomes 8, 14. On the next one, again, we're starting with the point 8, 12, and we're going to multiply the y value by 1/2. Remember, f of x is y, so that's all this means, is to take 1/2 times y. So 8, 12 is going to transform to half of 12 is 6, so 8, 6. And then our last example. Now this is that one where we're doing something inside the function, so we have to proceed with caution. It acts just opposite of the way you would think it would act. So -2 needs to be added to the x, or subtract 2 from the x value. So we're starting with 8, 12, and we want to subtract 2 from my x value. So this point will transform to 6, 12. So let me repeat, whenever you're doing something inside the functions, you have to proceed with caution and ask yourself what would make that a 0.